and welcome to another edition of Potluck, your everything and anything talk and entertainment TV show. My name is Laura Hartman, and I am your host. Today we have a very special guest joining us who is a part of a 501c nonprofit organization called Art for the People and has presented a unseenbeauty.org or Unseen Beauty. With me I have volunteer and who is also part of Art for the People, Sue Bracey. So welcome to the show, Sue.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
How are you?
I'm great.
Okay. So let's talk about Unseen Beauty, because are you the one that came up with the idea?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about how this came about and how you presented it to the board.
Well, a few years ago, I said, I want to give back to the community in some way. And so I was throwing around some ideas in my mind and with my friends. And I said, you know, I know that I have a reaction to the homeless. When we leave work, walk to the subway or the bus or wherever I'm going, I go grocery shopping, and I said, you know, I'd like to kind of perhaps make a difference. And in thinking about that, my love for the arts came through, and I said, what can I do with the arts? And to me, giving a brush and paper for myself, I'm going to feel worse about myself after I have presented an art piece because I'm not an artist. Okay. And the cameras came to mind. I thought, well, a camera kind of has a structure to it.
Like a video camera or a regular camera?
Just a disposable camera.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I wonder if I gave a disposable camera and asked some of them to take a picture of the beauty in their world.
The homeless people?
Yes, the homeless people. And so I bought some cameras, and my friends and those who work with them said, not a good idea.
Right.
Those cameras will disappear. They'll end up on the street, either at the liquor store or they'll sell them.
Right. How many cameras did you give out?
I purchased, the initial set was, I purchased 20.
Okay.
20 cameras, disposable cameras. And I handed them out. And I asked them that the only thing would be for them to bring the camera back, and I'll develop it. They'll get a full set. And we'll choose one picture to blow it up to 8 by 10 and frame it. And so, amazing, I got 50% of the cameras back. Okay. And you know, for them not having any kind of set place necessarily, we used the soup kitchen as one point of a meeting point. And they brought the cameras back. I developed them. I didn't know what I would find. And I was absolutely amazed and shocked at the quality and the beauty that these cameras held. And so we looked at them, and they each chose one picture, and we blew them up. Okay. And we gave them back. And when I went to do it again, I said, I'm going to do this again because it seemed to mean a lot to the folks, and they thanked me. There was a resonating there.
Right. So just sorry to interrupt, but the pictures that you got developed for them, so you got small print and then you blew up the one that you chose? Okay. So the ones that they, you know, the ones that were left over, did you give them copies of the? Okay.
Yes. They got a full set.
Okay. And how did you find these people? I mean, like, you know, were they just sitting on a street corner, or how did you find the, you know, the 20 people that were homeless? I mean, I know there's a lot of homeless people out there, but were you specific about the area that you went to?
In general, I went to where I thought they would be gathering, and that would be that was at the soup kitchen or at the community center where they went for medical care, and some of them, there was psychiatric services there. It was a community center. Okay,
that's where you said the soup kitchen earlier. Okay. So you didn't just go out in the street and say, here you go, there you go, here you go. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Perhaps I could have, but I didn't.
Right. No. That was probably a better bet to do that. Okay. So
it also gave us a point then for where they could return the camera, and I could pick it up, and I worked with the receptionist to say, if someone turns in a camera, just save it for me and I'll pick it up.
Sure,
But
sure.
in general, they waited until they saw me and then brought the camera.
Okay. Okay, so you got them developed, and then you picked, did they help you pick out the picture that they wanted to be, I'll let you finish.
No, that's okay, absolutely.
Okay.
To me, it was their choice.
Okay.
And there were times when one set of film came back and the lady said, Miss Nikki, and she said, she said right away, the very first picture on the top, she said, I don't like that one. It had it was a tree with a rainbow around it, and there was a bright spot in the corner, and I don't know what caused that. There's many theories about what may have caused that, whether it's a sunspot or whatever. And she said right away, she said, let's put that one away. I really messed up on that one. So we laid that one aside and we looked at all the rest of them. And there's 27 exposures, so we looked at the other 26. And she chose a couple that she liked. And I looked at them and they would have been fine. I would have blown them up. But somehow the one picture that she had laid aside and said she had messed up on, I just said, we might want to reconsider. You might want to look at that picture again.
Right.
I think it's very beautiful.
Well, yeah, especially if it has a rainbow around a tree.
It was. And it was a winter tree, so the tree was dark with no leaves, just the branches. And this big circle, and if anyone goes to the website, they'll see that picture. And she looked at it, she said, you really think that's beautiful? I said, I do. That's just but I said, if you want this other picture, it was a picture out of a bus window, so it was a scene that she would have seen every day. Okay. I said, it's your choice. Right. And then she chose the picture with the tree. Oh, wow. So I did have a dialogue with them at times, but it always came down to their choice at the end. Okay. Because it wasn't, I had chosen to honor them. Right, it's not about you, it's about them. Exactly. Okay. Now, on your website, you do have some information about each of the individuals, so can we start talking about them? Yes, we can. Yeah, that's fine. I did ask them to, I took a picture of them, sometimes on my cell phone, and sometimes on the disposable camera. I did find that when they brought the camera back, and if they knew that they were going to get a picture of themselves, they felt better about it. Okay. The initial picture, when I handed the camera to them, we just took a shot, and sometimes they weren't happy with that picture, and I said, well, that's okay, I'll just take a picture of you on the cell phone, and we can use whichever picture you wish. I would meet with them 4 times, once to hand them the camera, once to give them to receive the camera back, and then again to bring them the prints, and for us to choose one, and the 4th time was to bring back the 8x10 picture and get them to approve their what I call their bio or their profile, a picture of themselves. They would approve that, and a couple sentences about themselves, and then a couple sentences of what they said about the picture that they took. Okay. So. And was there anything, or from any of the individual, was there anything that they said about themselves that kind of surprised you or caught you by surprise? Well, one lady came and said, my daughter is here, and she's 9. Could she have a camera also? Oh, wow. And that surprised me. I said, absolutely. I said, where is she? And she said, well, I'll go get her, and she did. I said, I don't know where the daughter was, but she was, and I was very pleased that she felt comfortable to do that. To bring her, yeah. And so I gave the daughter a camera. Okay. And she also brought it back, and so that is also on the website. She took a picture of the quilt on her bed, and at first I wasn't certain what it was, and I said, can you tell me more about this? And she said, well, that is the quilt on my bed. It's the most beautiful thing I have. Aww. And it just touched me. Wow. Yeah. Wow. And we saw that over and over again. There's one gentleman, Mr. J, who came, and when I gave him the camera, he was he really had a sense of the cap pulled down over his face and the coat pulled tight, and he said, you'll be very happy with what I bring back. I said, I'm certain I will be. And he didn't bring it back right away. And I had almost given up that perhaps he wouldn't, but then he did bring it. I saw him and he said, I have the camera for you. He gave it to me, I got it developed. We were looking at the pictures, and there was this one picture just stood out. It was paint buckets, the 25-gallon paint buckets that professionals use. And they were lined up, and you know, now that I think about it, I've never counted them, but there was quite a few. And he had them arranged in a V or a triangle shape, and each one was lit from the inside with a purple or blue light. It was just absolutely striking.
Wow.
And I said,
in the paint? They put light inside the paint?
These were empty.
Oh, in the cans. Okay.
In the cans. And I said, now tell me about this picture. Where did you get this?
Wow.
And he said, well, I'm a licensed electrician and I lost my job.
Oh my gosh.
And he said, so I knew where the paint buckets were, so I set this up specifically for the camera.
Wow.
And it just told me a lot about him. And not only was he a photographer, he was also an artist.
Wow.
Setting that up like that. And if you see that picture, you'll see what I mean. It just touched me.
Right.
And then I never saw him again. And I asked around to see who might know where he is, or you know how I might contact him, because I wanted to let him know that where the pictures were being shown. And they said they don't know, but they think he got a job.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
And I was just delighted.
Wow.
Because, my thought is perhaps doing the project may have actually given him a second sense.
Gave him some hope?
Yeah.
Yeah, that there was something to show for it.
Yes.
Wow, what a cool idea though. You know, to do the paint cans with the lights. Wow.
It just, you know, yes. Obviously, he's an artist.
Yeah, yeah.
And to think of that, creating from nothing for the camera.
Wow. So what were some of the other photos that are on the website? And actually, these photos are going into a gallery.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
So.
Well, I can tell you more about the photos. And
Yeah. Let's start with the photos first. Let's start with the photos first.
There's another photo came back. Sybil brought a. I'm sorry, I don't have them here in front of me. Sybil or Anna brought a set back, and there was this one picture. It was just I said, and she said that's the one she liked the best. It was a winter scene again, because these pictures were taken in January and February.
Okay.
And for some reason, I tend to hand out cameras in the wintertime. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe I have more time.
Maybe because you like snow. You think of snow.
I think it's just
especially like 2 years ago, we had a lot of snow, right?
Yes. Okay. And I think that's when she took this one.
Okay.
Because it's, you know, over the year, it's the last 3 years that I've collected pictures. And so she brought, and I said, well, tell me about this one. Tell me about this picture. There's a flag on it. And she said, well, during the day, we can't stay at the shelter. We have to leave in the morning. And she said, so I go to the park. And it would be Sligo Creek Park. And so she said, I go down there, and that's where I stay. And she said, I was down there one day, and it was cold. And the wind picked up, and then it started to snow. She said, I looked up, and I saw this flag flying over the building. So I took the picture because the flag gave me hope.
Oh, wow.
And I could just sense with her that that was a moment that she treasured. It made her warmer. It gave her some comfort to know that, anyway. And then to put it on film and then to see it blown up.
Wow, wow. That's really amazing.
And one of the pictures, that pen camera, or right now it's Ritz camera, they keep changing, was just very impressed with, because the flag itself was very clear, and the rest of the picture had that feeling of snow.
Oh, wow.
That it may have been snowing when she took it.
Wow. So speaking of Penn or Ritz or
Yeah.
whatever camera shop, what was their reaction? Because, you know, everybody's into digital these days, and I don't think there's many people that develop film anymore. So what was their reaction to these photos?
Well, when I told them what they were that came from the homeless, they said, you know, if you hadn't told us, if you wouldn't tell us that they were from the homeless and from a digital camera, and, or if we hadn't developed them ourselves from the digital camera, disposable camera, not digital, I'm sorry, disposable camera,
Right.
We wouldn't believe you because of the quality.
Wow.
And the fact that these are untrained photographers. And it was confirmation to what I thought I was seeing, that it was incredible work.
Wow. Wow.
And so that was their response, that
That's
these
great.
were, things like the tree with the rainbow around it. They said, how did that happen? How did you get that? We know
Right.
how to do that with a filter and a large lens and so on, but how did she get that in a disposable camera? I said,
Wow.
I don't know.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
It's definitely meant to be, and
Absolutely.
definitely for other people to see, apparently.
Yes.
So, okay, so let's talk some more about some more other photos. We'll go to the gallery.
Absolutely. There's, let me see. There's one gentleman came back who obviously he had an abuse issue, and he had taken quite a few pictures. One picture was so striking; it just stood out among all the rest. Clear, you know, focused, and there was just a real balance about it.
Sure.
We laid that one aside. I said, what about this picture? And he said, well, I took a picture of the church where I go to, on Sundays when the shelter is closed and the soup kitchen is closed. And he said they provide a meal.
So the shelter and soup kitchen are closed on Sundays?
Yeah, there's another shelter they go to, but the one that he normally goes to, and the soup kitchen is definitely closed. So he goes to this church to get food at lunch, and he said they also open their community room and the TV for them to watch.
Oh, okay.
The football game.
Oh, nice.
And you could just tell from the picture and his expression of it what that meant to him.
Right, right. Okay.
So
wow.
I'm trying to think. Well, I told you about the little girl with the quilt, and one young man came, and he had pictures of this playground, the basketball court, and then he just took all these pictures of this one playground, and most of them were of this basketball court. And I said, well, what's with the basketball court? You know, how does that
tie in?
Yeah,
right.
Or the beauty in your world. He said, well, as a kid, he went to school there, and that basketball court is where he played.
Oh, okay.
And they painted the surface, and so he wanted to capture what they had painted. And then his family moved away, and he was left behind, and here he is. And so he took a picture of the.
Wow.
So that meant something to him.
Sure. So this happened 2 years ago, correct?
Well,
that you went out, you started the project 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Have you gone out again to get more pictures, like in the past 2 years or in the past year?
I have.
Okay.
I keep handing out cameras.
Okay.
From time to
You're the camera lady.
So in a way, sometimes that's what they call me. They say,
okay, the camera lady.
Yeah. And I get approached sometimes asking if I have an extra camera.
Oh, okay.
And I don't always.
So the word's gotten out. Okay, great.
Yes. And then I also went to a senior center.
Okay.
Section 8 housing. And I, because just seeing them and knowing, talking with them, they had no activities within their building, but they anyway, they were, and it was like, what? And I thought, well, the cameras would work here also.
Right.
And I was hoping we could hang them in their community room because their community room had nothing on the walls.
Oh, wow.
So well, I handed out, again, cameras, and they brought them back. And there's one lady who came back to me and she said, well, I'll give you this camera back. She said, unless you take me someplace, there is no beauty in my world. There's nothing that I know that I could take that would be beautiful. So I sat down with her and we talked about it, and I showed her what others had done in other venues and with the homeless and so on. I said, maybe you can find a bush or a tree or something that you could take that could strike some beauty for you. And she looked at me and she said, I don't think so. But then she came back later and she asked me for a camera. She said, I'll try. I said, well, I'm delighted. You'll try. You may be surprised what you find. And she brought the camera back, and sure enough, she had taken pictures of her community within walking a couple blocks. And she found this park where there was a statue, and she took the statue, and that's in the exhibit.
Oh, nice.
Very, very beautiful. She
wow.
You know, the way she took it, and you know, it certainly struck some chord with her. In the quality of the picture.
That's awesome.
And then I looked at her. I said, "So now, what do you think?" And she said, "There's a lot of beauty everywhere."
Right. Right. Wow.
So.
And beauty within herself, I'm sure.
Yes, it pulled out that beauty within herself.
Okay, so let's talk about the gallery because we're running short. We're running close to time. So
okay, no problem.
So tell us about the gallery and tell us about where the artwork is going to be shown.
Okay, at the Himmelfarb Gallery in Laurel.
Okay.
And if anyone knows about, it's the Maryland University of Integrative Health, which is the former Thai Sophia Institute.
Okay. So
they're going to hang in their gallery, and they're going up on the 20th of December, and they'll be up until the end of March. And on the 22nd of January, I invite your audience and you
to come and visit.
Please come and visit. There'll be a reception.
Great.
And we're going to get as many of the photographers to attend. We'll be providing transportation for them.
Okay.
So you'll get to meet the photographers in person.
Now, will you only get, what if they have friends that they want to bring with them?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We're going
that didn't get a chance to take pictures and stuff. No, that's awesome. So, and that's over in Laurel, Maryland, you said?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's off 29, Route 29. It's off Route 29.
Okay, great. And it's going to be shown also at a hospital and a restaurant?
Yes, we're going to the Children's Hospital.
Okay, great.
Down on Michigan Avenue in D.C. Has a full set of these, or
already?
Not complete. Yes, they already have the pictures, but they were doing construction. They weren't able to hang them.
Wow.
But they promised me, because I had called them and I said, have you hung them? You know, is it time to pick them up? And he said, you know, we haven't even hung them yet. He said, I'm really sorry about that, but please don't take them. He said, I really want to exhibit them here. Okay. So they will be exhibiting them, and it'll go on the website as to when they go up.
Okay, great. So how long will you continue to do this, and will you follow up with these people that have had the photographers that have taken pictures?
Well, I plan to do it as long as I can afford to do it. Okay. I will be just honest about that. So there's up until this point, I've funded the project. Sure. And but now that Art for the People has taken me under their wing, they saw the work that we were doing, that I was doing, and they said, hey, why don't you come? And they're a 501c3. Great. And so they've given a lot of support, and including a little bit of financial support, because they also run their own art programs. And so we're looking for donations and anyone who wants to join us. So I invite anyone.
Right. Okay. Great.
Of your audience.
That's what a beautiful idea, and what a beautiful thing that you've done. You know, for these people and for the people that are going to be seeing the beautiful art. work. So,
And I want to thank the people, the photographers, for going out there and taking those pictures and bringing them back and sharing them with all the rest of us.
Yeah.
It's touched my heart.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're just catching us on the web now, there's going to be a short clip about Unseen Beauty and what is involved with it. So again, if you are just catching us, you can also make sure you catch us on www.potluck-online.org. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Sue Bracey, and I'm founder of a photo project called Seeing Through the Eyes of the Unseen. Seeing Through the Eyes of the Unseen is a project where we hand out disposable cameras to homeless and seniors who live in subsidized housing and ask them to take photos of the beauty in their world. We take the cameras and we develop the film, and we take one picture and we find a public place to exhibit them, such as community centers, even restaurants or hospitals, where it's public, where they can go see their work and others can see it also. So far we have had an extraordinary response. Many of the viewers are asking if they can have the show moved to their church or their facility, to the college, and the comments that are written range from amazing, profound, beautiful, thank you, we just want to see more and more of this work. The photographers get an opportunity to show their strength and to show the beauty that they see in their world, and an opportunity to share it with the rest of us. And I know for myself, it has changed the way I look at them as I see the beauty that they brought back in these cameras. Wouldn't it be great if we could use this project to see the beauty in each other, no matter how different we are on the outside? And with your help, we can take this project into other communities across the nation and around the world.